Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. I am your host, Reverend Dr. Wanda, and I am so excited about being here this morning since Reverend Rosedale will be doing a talk on transformation. I have been doing some work on the quantum paradigm shift and thought process, and that fits right in with this topic, and I can hardly wait to see what she has to say. It should be mind-opening. So if this is your first time, we are delighted that you have chosen to join us today. With modern technology, we are extremely grateful for this opportunity to touch so many lives, especially through Zoom and Facebook, and to share the wonderful happenings at CSL Charlotte. So please feel free to visit our website, CSLCharlotte.org, put in a prayer request, and subscribe. We add our recordings to our website each week. So don't worry if you miss or if you have to leave early. You can always go to YouTube and see the talk again and again if you choose to. The Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte is a new thought community, living an ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. This science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He studied truths from all of the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths. There are so many paths to the divine. Holmes developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. At CSL Charlotte, every philosophy is honored, along with every race, sexual orientation, and physical distinction. This is a diverse community. We are the mosaic of the world. There are so many paths to the divine. We can call it God, peace, great spirit, love, Allah, Buddha, whatever you call it. That is your power that resonates within you. You do not have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. You can join us anytime. We recognize and refer to many holy scriptures, such as the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Bhagavad Gita, and that's just to name a few. Our vision statement is to continue a spiritual community, creating and preparing a succession of future leaders who can fully integrate, teach, and expose the science of mind principles, messages, and practices that strengthen the mind, body, and spirit of individuals. One of our aims is to create a high collective consciousness for everyone in this community, in this city, in this town, in this country, in this world, in this universe. We teach everyone the tools to do just that. So come and join us as we meet each Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So welcome everyone and enjoy our service as we celebrate this powerful being which lives within each and every one of us. So now it is my pleasure to pass this mic back over to our illustrious, amazing spiritual leader, Reverend Rosedale.
Well, good morning, everyone, everywhere. YouTube, I know you're watching us, and I also know you're watching us out there in Facebook too, and I know you're keeping up with us. So, welcome, everyone. This is CSL Charlotte, the Mind Body Spirit Center. And what we do at the Mind Body Spirit Center is we have all kinds of things to just respect spirit, represent spirit, recognize spirit, and everything else. But here's the deal. Before we open our Sunday celebrations, we open up with an affirmative prayer. And the affirmative prayer today is going to be done by my sister, Reverend Karen Mondragon. Now, Karen Mondragon and I have grown up together in this spiritual arena. And I love how we just keep unfolding and finding more and more out about each other. So, with that being said, my goodness, you're going to get prayed for, opened up by the most fabulous little girl here, Reverend Karen. So, Reverend Karen, do your thing.
Thank you, sister. Yeah, we shared a playground and a playpen together when we were little girls. So absolutely knowing the beauty and the light that is here today, whether you're here right now or watching later on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are, there is no time and no space in prayer. So we join at the time that we are here together in prayer as one heart, one mind, one spirit, absolutely knowing that this service today unfolds beautifully, unfolds perfectly within Reverend Rosedale as she delivers the message of spirit straight through her heart to each and every one of us. And knowing this, we each receive what we need to hear this morning. We take it into our hearts, into our lives, and we bring it out into the world. And in gratitude for the CSL Charlotte family, which I belong to, which Reverend Rosedale introduced me to, I'd like to say in complete gratitude and thanksgiving, this prayer is released into the universal law as it manifests perfectly this morning and every day in all of our lives. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is. I've been blessed by two beautiful voices so far today. One, Dr. Wanda, our MC, the empowerment that she spoke. And then we got Reverend Karen, who spoke some more empowerment. I mean, when you go before the leader or before the speaker with that kind of power, oh my God, these ladies, I'm telling you, they just gave it to me. So from what I need to say now is, we got the reader to come on now. And so our reader comes with me for, wow, maybe 13 years. And when I met our reader, who knew that we would be sharing the same stage someday? I didn't even know that. But because of the way things unfolded and transpired over the years, we're still together. So this is Melissa Spiegler, and she is going to give us this reading, and her reading today is called that's my talk, The Truth About Fascination, but I'm not going to talk about her reading title. She is The Key to Transformation. I got a good memory too, guys. So all I had to do was look at them and I remembered. So anyway, that being said, Melissa is going to do the reading for us. And after Melissa does the reading, I want you to prepare for the talk by listening to a song called Let It Go. And Let It Go is by Fearless Soul, because it's going to tell you what you need to do before you transform, because the talk is about the truth about transformation. So Melissa, make it do what it do.
Thank you so much, Reverend Rosedale. And yes, it's the key to transformation. And as Wayne Dyer says, transformation literally means going beyond your form. Transformation doesn't ask that you stop being you. It demands that you find a way back to the authenticity and strength that already is inside of you. The road to transformation is long, and the journey can be bumpy from time to time, but it is a road that we must all travel if we ever hope to become more than we are. Transformation has a beginning point, which is self-awareness. To be self-aware is to be in touch with reality about yourself. It includes recognizing your strengths and weaknesses, recognizing your feelings, attitudes, values, and behaviors, recognizing the positive and the negative impact you have on others, recognizing what feeds you and what drains you. Through increasing self-awareness, we get a better picture of our true selves, and as a result, the areas that need to change. How do you get self-transformation and individual transformation? Human beings are wired for transformation. Perhaps our most extraordinary quality as a species is the ability to learn and adapt to nearly any situation. Any transformation, any aspect of growth lies outside of our comfort zone. And in order to have something new, we often have to say goodbye to what we already have. It doesn't need to be dramatic. It often means simply opening our minds to something in which has been closed off. Perhaps learning a new skill or sharpening an old one, to seek expert advice, or to conquer self-doubt, fear of failure, a fear of success, or to developing a new attitude or adopting a new way of doing things. Self-transformation starts by owning the problem and asking yourself, what can you do about it? If you find yourself stuck or getting nowhere fast, try changing your thoughts, your feelings, or actions to find your breakthroughs. Transformation is not what happens to us, it's how we respond. But the key in how we respond is how we make meaning. That meaning is our internal mental representation. And that mental representation holds our key to how our transformation happens. Our mental representation is the ideas, the concepts, the stories, the theories, the skills that make up how we internalize something in our mind. Work with what you've got. Instead of playing the waiting game, or you are waiting until things get better, the problem is while you wait, the world passes you by. It keeps moving forward. And when you just wait and see, it takes your power away. Life's better when you don't wait. You improve your effectiveness. And when you respond to life's curveballs, you also improve your resilience and self-reliance. Individual transformation is an internal shift that brings us in alignment with our highest potential. And that is our authentic self. It's at the heart of every aspect of our life. It affects how we see, act, and relate to the world around us. And so it is.
Take a deep breath here and just let it go real slow. The same breath you took in. Go ahead and release it. The first step in transformation is letting it go. You know, Let It Go, that song, it inspires us to embrace change, to let go of burdens of the past. It also transforms us into this fabulous person, a new version of ourselves. You see, remember, growth and evolution often demands that we let go of our old patterns. And that quote that Melissa opened with, whoa, from Wayne Dyer, was simply this: transformation doesn't ask you to stop being you, it demands that you strengthen and take back your authority, your authenticity, and be that strength that's already inside of you. It's already there, right? So let people around you and in your life transform in their own time, and take this advice from Let It Go. Why don't you be you and I'll be me? So today's topic is the truth about transformation. The truth about transformation. So it's designed to actually have us recognize that change is the only thing stable in this world. That's the only thing, just the only thing, right? So wiggle your fingers and your toes, and as you prepare yourself for the talk, just know that we're talking about the truth of transformation. So I want to first start giving out my wonderful accolades to my fabulous team and my platform peeps. Dr. Wanda, thank you for being our MC today. You're always so supportive for CSL Charlotte. And also, Melissa, your reading really brought to life our topic. And your key, your title, the key to transformation, really rings loud and clear for us. So thanks, Melissa, that was awesome. And then Reverend Karen, I want to tell you how fabulous that is for you to actually come up and do that prayer and be here for us, because it really opened up my heart and it really made me stand in the truth of transformation. So thank you to all. And oh, speaking of prayer, we definitely like to know that our ecclesiastical team is actually holding the light for the service, to actually see that all is well. They're seeing it, they're looking at it, they're watching this whole thing from their spiritual eye. And I think that is phenomenal. So here comes the truth about transformation. And now, just so you know, transformation means change. Now, in order to transform, we have to, need to, want to grasp two terms: reflection and the point of inflection. Ooh, fancy word, huh? The difference between those words is very, very important. The point of inflection means it's a time when you have to pivot, when it's a magical moment, if you will, that it's a turning point in your life. Whoa, and I know we've had a lot of them. So I have to say it that way so you can say, oh, okay, we're talking about the not introspection, inflection and reflection. So when we get to that reflection, it's time to do the inflection. And that means we got to turn. And when we make that turn, we've got to go into transformation. And we do this transformation all the time in three areas of our life: personal growth, business growth, and societal growth. You know, yes, you are all in business. If you have a job, you're in business. Any kind of income you are looking for, you got to be about the business of getting that. So there's a lot of transformations going on in those three areas of your life every day. Okay? Now, personal growth. For me, what I find out about personal growth is a little pain, not even a little pain. Sometimes it's a lot of pain, but pain really gives me that kick right on in to another different thing. But it also kickstarts my most brilliant journeys. The most brilliant things I've ever done was actually from pain. Yeah, pain pushes us. The vision pulls us. You can't knock the both of them. You can't say, well, pain, I don't want it. No, use it to be your, what is it? Bouncing board. Go to the next level. Turns you into that pivot. Boom, transformation. Hey, you know, the moment of inflection comes at all different times for all different people. But sometimes people don't hear that inflection and they keep moving in that same life. So you're in a bad relationship and they do something really detrimental to you. Oh my goodness. But you don't move at the point of reflection. You don't follow the spiritual laws. So you decide that, well, I forgive that and I'll let that go. But now you're into a relationship still that's not working for you. You did not follow that pivot. So you can't transform because you're stuck. Think about that. Would you like to be that way? Have you ever, and here's another thing. People are ill these days, and because I'm a nutrition coach, right? And also fitness and all of that good stuff. But I'm finding that when they hear the reasoning behind what I talk about, it's healing a lot of people. Did you know that in order to stay healthy, you need a certain amount of healthy food in your body? You need a certain amount of calories. Did you know that research says that there's a basic idea behind that if you don't eat enough of those macronutrients and stuff like that, then you're sick. So how can you possibly let spirit grow? How can you possibly do great transformations? How can you stand in your power? When you're not in your power, you lose your power. Period. Dot. End of story. It's essential that we learn what it takes for us to be happy, what it takes for us to feel good, what it takes for us to be healthy. And do it! Because when that point of inflection hit, when you get that pain, the pain of, oh, I don't feel too well, I haven't eaten in 3 days. Well, do you think that might help? And people are really hurting themselves. And I'm loving the fact that I'm able to show that and illustrate that to people. It really makes me feel good that they see it and they follow that light and they decide that I need to change that. Because maybe you think that you don't have to change that, but you do have to eat right. You do. Okay, so that's one thing. And then when you're talking about going into more personal growth, you're saying, well, if I'm not happy, then I need to do something with this relationship. This is all your personal growth. Then I need to move out of this. Maybe my boss doesn't respect me enough. Maybe I'm thinking that I need more money, but I won't go get it because I'm sitting on a freaking gold mine. And I decided, I didn't mean to say that word, but I get excited. But it's okay. I'm sitting on a gold mine. And if that moment of truth doesn't come through, that point of inflection does not hit you when you find that you can't get somewhere, what if you could be homeless? What if you could, lose someone? That point of inflection can be a simple thought that can scare you. And it kickstarts your journey. And you could go on that route. Or you can stay stuck and say, well, I'm happy right here where I'm at. Don't miss your point of inflection. Get into your own personal growth. Very, very important. Now, when we think about it, let's talk about business transformation, right? What happens with business transformation is if you find out that way of making money is not going to happen, or this sink is almost about to ship. I mean, this ship is almost about to sink. Whatever you think that you're into, reflect. Get into your reflection, because once you start reflecting on what's going on with you, voila, you're going to realize that you're at this point of inflection, that either you're going to turn with it and pivot, or you're going to stay with it and be stuck. There's two things you can do. That's all I'm trying to say. So here's what happens with some of the companies or businesses or people who are using this as a business, deciding to get an income. They embrace their different things, like new things, like nuances, like innovation. Some people have to embrace technology. Some people have to embrace all kinds of greatness in their businesses or wherever they're going. Because if you don't have any money, baby, it's your business to get it, right? So then you got to change. So I'm talking about some serious magic that has to happen. And it's got to only come from me or you, because we're the only ones to do it. And here's the deal. We do it all the time at CSL Charlotte. I'm always transforming. I know people think, oh my God, she's doing this week. Yeah, because that's the new road. That's the pivot. That's not working. I got to go like this. Well, I'm not going to go like that. I'm going to stay right here. So if you don't know whether CSL Charlotte is into the truth of transformation or not, then follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook. As a matter of fact, just follow us. Because wherever you follow us, you will get to see a whole lots and lots of points of inflection going on. I know our leaders see it all the time. Every week we meet, they see another point of inflection because I pivoted. Right? We made another point. Okay, we can't stay there. That's not working. Right? Timmy P and I are always talking about, yeah, all right, so if you don't like that, listen to this. This is what we're going to do. Because we have to change. We got to, once that pivoting point comes and we realize, that just hit us. We can't do that. Pivot. We're not going to stay there and say, well, okay, we're not going to move. Nope, that's not going to happen here. That's CSL Charlotte. So this is that business of CSL Charlotte. We are about our business. So be about your business and join our community, right? Now let's talk about society, or I say race consciousness, or collective thought. Now here's the deal. When we stop hitting that snooze button and wake up and start to see that, hey, things are changing, oh my God. Whether it's after the aftermath of the 9/11, or the whole big horrendous thing we had with COVID, or the wars we had all throughout the history. Whatever we had, we woke up and things changed. They were all point of inflections. We did it. It changed the way we fly. COVID changed the way we look at people with the masks in the airlines. Oh yeah, the point of inflection, real important. So you can be in part of the transformation phase. But let me just tell you this. Next time you find yourself at the crossroads and things are not looking the way you need to have it lined up, you have hit the point of inflection. It's time for some reflection. And you know how to do that. We do that all the time in our consciousness meeting. And if you don't know how to do it, just come, because what we do is we get out of our physical world for 45 minutes to an hour and into this spiritual realm. I like to say the spiritual realm. And when we spend that time away from all of that, when we come back, we look at it a whole different pair of eyes. It's very, very important that we look around our space with a whole different pair of eyes. That's key. Because if you come back out of that with the same mindset, you have not been paying attention while you was in the spiritual realm. Go back. You don't just keep going, oh. You know, somebody told me yesterday, Rosedale, you are so silly. But hey, that's the way it is. So just remember that. This the next time you get caught out there. Just step out. So it's all about having that pivot make it. So now, what I found so interesting about this topic, the truth about transformation, was that nothing is new about what I'm talking about today. This was all down the centuries, way back with our philosophers. And what I want to talk about is that our philosophers have had very strong impacts on the way humans think and understand life. And so they've passed it on. But if we don't listen, then we will not. Because see, sometimes listening to this stuff could put you in a point of inflection, which will cause you to pivot, okay? And then you could say, oh yeah, that's a good point. Now I gotta change that. So first person I wanna tell you about is my main man, and his name is Socrates. You know what I loved about Socrates? Socrates was a man, and here's another thing about all of those people. I found my consciousness in them. Remember when they said, be of the mind as Jesus? Well, that's the point. Because if you look at these philosophers over the years from the 300 BC and all of that, the same people, Jesus and all of them, had a consciousness level, a mindset. And it really was based on how we understand and how we know what's going on in our world. So remember that. So I have been doing my research on that because of that. I like to do that. So we need to have understanding of what's been going on all these years if we're expected to transform. So here's what I loved about Socrates. I got to get these words in my mind right. Here's what I love about Socrates. Socrates, he used to help people in his own way. Jesus had one way, and his was Socrates. Socrates would ask people probing, really thought questions that caused them to contemplate what he was saying. And when they did that, they would come up with some deep insight into what they did. But later they put him to death by hemlock, because the problem is that particular politics, whatever they called it back then, they assassinated him, although they called it a court case. They brought him to trial. You got to know your history, you know. And they brought him to trial and they told him you had to drink hemlock, boom, you're done. Okay, but they wanted to stop him from making people sharper and smarter. Same thing they did to Jesus. They assassinate people. Come on. Okay, let me get off that soapbox. But then that's contemplation when he asked those questions. And I have people, as I'm doing that, I love doing this because I like having people contemplate. So I ask a lot of questions to my clients. And if you ever saw any of my clients and you would have asked them, does she ask you a lot of questions? And they say yes. Because I don't tell you anything. Socrates don't tell you anything what to do. He just asks you. And you will come up with the answer. But that is your insight. When you go into the insight of your own self, and that's your pivotal moment, and if you don't feel that, oh, well, I'm not going to do nothing about it. I told her what I was going to do, but I didn't do it. Or you might say, I told her, oh my God, That's awesome. I'm going to go do that. It's just that simple. That's what Socrates did. And that's where I found my consciousness in him. See, that's one of the things I found about him. So now he accomplished a lot of things by doing that questioning and stuff. And that's where I learned. So if you really want to think about it, that research and that history lessons that I keep constantly doing, it's not just something I'm reading just to know. I'm reading to see if my consciousness can fit it. Period. Okay, so Plato, what he wanted to do was he wanted to explain a concept of how people could really see be outside of their beyond, like Melissa's reading said, beyond where you are, right? So what he did was he made up this thing called the allegory of the cave. Now check it out. The allegory of the cave was a very interesting an allegory. That's what it is. An allegory is something that they use to analyze something, to use, to give you a myth. Oh my goodness, to give you a story. So what he did was talked about that as this. There's a bunch of people lined up in a cave, and the cave is dark. But behind these people is a fire, and that fire gives a reflection of their shadow in front of them. And all these people did was look at the shadow in front of them, and they saw shadows all their life. They never lived anywhere else. And I know Reverend Karen is with me on this. And they never lived anywhere else. They never saw anything else. But you know what? They thought that was the world, those shadows in the wall. So one day, one of those people escaped, and they got outside in the real world. And oh my God, they saw that the world was so different. And I'm going to tell you a little analogy. That's the word I was looking for before. I'm going to give you a little analogy right here. When you are living in the same town forever, thinking that small-minded stuff that you have always learned from the small-minded people that you've been with, and it's not a disrespect, the word small mind, because we have to be of a bigger mind in order to be better than who we are. It doesn't mean to disrespect or knock anything down, but if you do not leave that environment, then what have you to talk about pivotal inflection or reflection or transformation? What, tell me, have you to talk about? The allegory of the cave tells me, puts my consciousness into this. See, I learned from this stuff. I don't just go, oh, he talked about the allegory of the cave. Well, it's not just that. It's all of this. It's all of this stuff. For me to transcend from where I am, I have to be able to see that, whoa, this is all good stuff. I am using this information to move me to that next level, because I'm always on that elevator, going to up level, to the next level, to the next level, and then some. I'm never going to stay stuck in the same place for more than I need to. Can't put a time frame on it. Can't do it. But I can tell you, if I don't like where I'm at, something's going to change, right? And that's how that goes. And so when you think about it, and here's the thing, one more person, Plotinus. I just want to say the three guys, because I really love them. Plotinus had a thing about the mirror and mind and matter. Okay, and what he talked about is that we should be embracing the idea that what we see inside of us, we experience outside of us. It's no different than what we're saying today. I'm telling you, none of the stuff I'm talking about is new. And here's another thing. I learned that I believe that all spiritual communities should have a consciousness meeting. They should have some time for their members, for their people to actually sit together and be asked questions. I throw out questions out. I know sometimes everybody's like, I don't know what to think. I don't care what you think. I'm going to ask you some questions and it's going to go in your head. And then later on, you're going to do, I know what I'm doing. I'm clear. I'm not saying that I expect you to answer it and put you on the spot. I'm saying it because you heard that question. And then at some point, by the end of that meeting, you came out of there new. You didn't come in that meeting the same way. You didn't leave that meeting the same way you came. And that is so important. And I think that should be, what's that word I'm looking for? I think that should be something that a requirement, okay, of everybody to have the opportunity to give their people, constituents, their members, the idea of, hey, listen, let's make sure that we get this going. We should have this once a week at least. I do it every day now because it's become a habit. I take that contemplation time. I have to. I have so many things to do. I stay on track because of that. Without that, I would lose all kinds of things and not be prepared for things. And I'm very rarely unprepared, if you will. And I just want to say, I love that first paragraph of Melissa's reading, because she said the road to transformation is long and the journey can be a little bumpy at times, but it's a road that that every single one of us have to travel. You cannot work without change. Remember, I said in the beginning, change is the only thing stable in this world. Gotta change. So you get to create your own destiny. There is nobody else to say, this is how you were born and this is what your destiny is. No, it's you. You're it. That's the truth of transformation. So now I just want to wrap up a little bit here because I want to talk about this song called Unwritten. Now, when you look at this, let's say that right now you're in a day, today is Sunday, and you are setting up and you're at the beginning of the crossroad, and now you are looking for the next thing to do. There is no destiny. Everything in front of you that you have to do tomorrow is unwritten. You write it. Every morning I get up and I write what, when, where, if, and then. I write everything I want to see done that day. If I don't write that down, then I probably will not do it, what I want to do. And I'll probably be unorganized. I'm just giving you a little hint here that we're the ones. So remember, whatever you decide, the pen is in your hand. When you decide to start to write your day or write your next chapter, remember this song. The rest is all unwritten. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words from your lips. Boy, oh man, that song, Natasha, she got it, boy. She rolled it. And then she got those people at the end. Oh my goodness, that song really rocked it, y'all. Do you know that the rest is still unwritten? And if you don't know, you ask somebody, because nobody's going to be able to tell you how to run it. And nobody can tell you that you live in a destined world. You write your book. Okay, guys, I gotta go here. That is phenomenal, Mo. Thank you so much for being that person that sends out those prayers for us. It is phenomenal because when I read them, they're great, but I'm also knowing when I'm reading, you are getting that blessing. And when you read it several times, like Timmy P said, oh my God, what are you doing for yourself? A lot of greatness. So right about now, we take the time to celebrate birthdays, and I think today is not anyone's birthday in particular, but I would like to know your birthday. So you know I don't know your birthday, so find out, if you would put it in the chat, your date and your month. You do not have to put your year, because we don't want to know your age. We just want to know your birthday, because if you don't honor your birthday, oh my goodness. See, my grandson, he has a birthday coming up on Friday, and we honor his birthday because he makes us. So we will be having dinner with him. So it's just things like that. We honor our birthdays, and we do that here at CSL Charlotte all the time. So if you put your date of birth, not your year, and we will look at that, and whether you're here or not, we will shout it out, because I am a firm knower that anything that we speak into the spiritual realm, you get it. You don't have to be here. We don't have to be together when we pray. We just have to do it. If we're doing a spiritual practice, we don't have to be in the same room. So just telling you, Things happen. Think about the miracles. Think about the magic. So anyway, that all being said, the thing I want you to know is I don't know your birthday, but you do. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to thank my fabulous and awesome, beautiful, great team here. And that is, first, I want to talk about our MC, Dr. Wanda. She is always here, ready to do her thing, and she did a fabulous job today because she kept saying things and I was going, yay, yeah, so I dig it. So, and it was wonderful. So also, Melissa, our reader, woo, she hit it. She hit points. That was really like, if that was a nerd, she'd be going ping, 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 all throughout that reading. Melissa, that reading was fabulous. You did a great job finding it and reading it. So thank you. And I need to thank Timmy P for being so informative with those announcements. And let me tell you something else about Timmy P. You need to go and check out our YouTube page. On YouTube, I suggest you all go and check it out. He got us looking like $1 million. Every single week that he completes it, I go on there and I watch it. And I get so like, bam, bam, bam. I'm saying, oh, he hit it. You got to see what he did. You should see what he did last week, Groovy and Melissa. He changed the birthday part. Guys, I'm saying, woohoo, you got to go check it out. It's so professionally done. So thank you in advance. A-Team, you are the one that's doing the text, backroom babe. Yep. And you are our music man today. So you fabulous. Know what that means? Oh, and that's right. And prayer room tech. Because you fancy, huh? So thank you all for being such great. And thank you, Mo, for leading that room prayer that you did in the beginning of our platform. And thank you, Reverend Karen, for picking it up and taking it the rest of the way, because all I want to do is get the energy you guys are focusing on to give to me, and you did a good job. So who else? So thank you everyone for all that you've done. I did not miss anyone. Groovy! Oh, wait a minute. Groovy is up there doing her thing too. She's making sure that everybody in the chat knows what song is next. She's also making sure that things are noises and stuff. But I'm sure there was one that she probably couldn't catch because she's busy. She's not just playing. She's not just whistling Dixie. I get all these old-fashioned sayings from people. And I say them, I don't even know what they mean. But that's me. So anyway, what else do I need to say? Anything else? Oh yeah, and listen, stay if you have a prayer on your heart, because when you pray or when you do a spiritual practice, it all goes into the same place. It doesn't matter how you pray. It doesn't matter what area you do, if you know all the 5 steps, or if you talk to a God outside of you or in you, baby, let me tell you something. You pray, you are praying in the same place. Do it anyway. Don't think it's, I don't know how to do it. Do it. Okay, so I'm telling you, it really helps. And that's it. So that's all I want to say. So here's another thought. We're about to close now. And as we close this beautiful thing, I want us to focus for a moment on the truth of transformation for yourself. Because let me tell you something about transformation or change. You talk about your friend and say, hey, so-and-so, she needs to do this. Or you may talk about your mate and say, well, she should do this and she should do that. Or you may want to talk about your boss and say, he did this and he should. Let me just tell you this. You have to be the change you wish to see in this world. Because people change in relation to you. People change in relation to me. I used to people please. When I people please, that gets me nowhere. I have to be firm and stand strong in what I say. If I say I don't want to do something, I'm going to let you know right off. And then if I lose your friendship, it wasn't meant to be anyway. And that's the way it goes. So we got to understand that be the change. So I changed from people please to being real and authentic and honest. You can do it if you choose, if that's your thing. Transform. So this next song, Be the Change You Wish to See in This World, there is no combination to doing this. There is no lock, and here's the key though, this song. So simply listen to this and get going, and let's get it. You got to be the change you wish to see. There is no combination to the lock, so here's the key. You got to be the change you wish to see in this world. So guys, be the change you wish to see. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you to change, and don't try to change anybody else. Change you. People change in relation to you. That's the truth about transformation. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, okay. Who am I acting like? I'm acting like Chris Tucker. You know how they act funny at the end of the show. Go ahead, Alan. So anyway, right, Reverend Karen, she's gonna pray us out. I love it when I feel like this. Okay, go ahead, Reverend Karen, pray us out.
Oh my God, talk about transformation. As we go into prayer, absolutely knowing right here and right now that we are transforming at this very second, that everything that Reverend Rosedale talked about, we incorporated into ourselves as we were listening. Our minds were changing, we were transforming, ourselves were transforming, everything within our bodies right here and right now. We're not the same as they were when we started this morning. We are transforming every second of the day, and knowing this and being in gratitude for this beautiful service, for knowing how it filled me with energy and with the universal light of God. I know that I go out into my world today. I go out and I am transforming every second. Every time I look at what I see in this world, I am transforming, and I thank that. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for this talk today. I am so grateful to be the transformation that I need to be for each and every one of us. We can only shine our own light. We can't shine anybody else's. So when we are the light, we are the transformation of that light of God coming through us. And knowing this and in gratitude for this beautiful service, I release this prayer to the manifestation of the law for each and every one of us here today, individually and as a whole. And together we say, and so it is.
And so it is, Karen, Reverend Karen. You rock it every time. I don't care how you do it. Your eyes open, eyes closed, it don't matter, but I got your heart and I heard you loud and clear. So guys, take it and be the change you wish to see. Keep. So in that saying, I just want to say it's time for you all to decide what you're going to do. Do I need a prayer? Would I like a prayer? Would I like to feel different than when I came in here today? Because you probably do already, because you really got your socks blown off. However, I think if you get that prayer, just 3 minutes of your time and just give it to the practitioner or the minister that's here today, and oh my God, you are definitely going to walk on really, really air, just like that. So that's it, guys. I had enough. So have a great rest of your day. Don't take any wooden nickels, but be the change you wish to see. There is no lock to the key. There is no combination to the lock. But here's the key, be the change. So guys, have a good week, and I'll see you next week.